Hello, fourth graders, and happy Saturday. This is Mr. Schwartz again, and this is another video on top of the one reviewing Lesson 35 to help us review concepts and certain problems in Lesson 36. So recall, for Lesson 35, you started working on the multiplication of fractions, such as equations like this one. So 3 times 2/3, okay? So remember, to solve 3 times 2/3, you're going to need 3 groups of 2/3. So right here, we have 2 1/3, which we know equals 2/3. And then to multiply this 3 times, we're going to need 2 more groups, so that we have 3 groups total. So I'm going to make 2 more groups. Here's my second group of 2/3. Here is my third and final group of 2/3. Okay, so again, 3 times 2/3, 3 groups of 2/3. We could just count the thirds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we know that we're gonna get 6/3. We could also add, 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 to get our answer. So we know that 2/3 plus 2/3 is 4/3, plus another 2/3 is also 6/3. And finally, we could, work with our associative property, and again, 3 times 2/3 can also be, 3 times 2 times 1/3, or 3 times 2/3. And again, we know 3 times 2 is 6, so that's 6/3. All this is short to say that, again, you're multiplying your whole number, how many groups you have, by the numerator, which is 2. So we know that 3 times 2 is 6, and then we keep our denominator, which is 3. So when I was a kid, that's how I was taught to do it. Like, this is how you multiply fractions. You're just gonna multiply your whole number times your numerator and leave the denominator the same. So I learned how to do the procedure, but I didn't have any idea like what I was actually doing with the numbers. So this is why we're going over, specifically what we're doing so often. All right, so for lesson 36, they kind of, in the problem set, they give you the reverse. They give you an addition sentence with multiple fractions, and they want you to draw a tape diagram to represent them. Hopefully at this point we all know how to do that. So number 1, 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. We can just, let's see, so 3/4, here's another 3/4, and then another 3/4, and another 3/4, okay? And yeah, now we need to write a multiplication expression equal to this. So we know we're gonna multiply something times 3/4. We need to multiply how many different sets of 3/4 that we have, which is of course 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know we're gonna multiply 4 times 3/4. And again, we could just add, 3/4 plus 3/4. I know that's 3 plus 3 is 6, that's 6/4, plus another 3/4 is gonna be 9/4. 9/4 plus 3/4 is 12/4. Or we can multiply 4 times 3, which is 12. We are going to keep our denominator, so that's 4. So 4 times 3/4 is 12/4. Sorry for the shaky camera. please go ahead and hit pause and do number 2 by yourself, which is to draw a tape diagram to represent 7/12 plus 7/12 plus 7/12, and then write a multiplication sentence equal to 7/12 plus 7/12 plus 7/12. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Burlig has placed the answers to that online, so check your work online. All right, in Zearn, you've hopefully tried lesson 36 in Zearn, and they've gone through some word problems. So we're taking the same concepts here, we're just applying them to word problems, which, can be a bit tricky. So let's go ahead and let's review the problems that, Zearn went through. The first one was Rhonda exercised for 5/6 hour every day for 5 days. How many total hours did Rhonda exercise? So Zearn is awesome because it does a really good job of making sure that you know what it is that you're looking for. So again, when you look at a word problem, you should start by, you want to circle the hours and the units. So we've got 5/6 hours, and we've got 5 days. Then we need to find our question. So it's how many total hours did Rhonda exercise? Okay, so we're not worried about knowing how many days Rhonda exercised or what exercises she did. We want to know the total number of hours. Okay, so our tools to help us figure this out are our knowledge of she did 5/6 of an hour, and she did that for 5 days. Okay, so again we've got we know, so 5/6 of an hour in 1 day, that's a little bit less than 1 hour. So we can start with a tape diagram. So here we go. Here's 1 5/6 hour, right there. And if we're going for 5 days, we need 5 of those. Okay, so that's 5. So this is over 5 hours. Now, of course, sorry about the camera. Now, of course, we want to know, how many total hours is that all together? That's what we don't know yet. Again, we could add 5/6 plus 5/6 plus 5/6 plus 5/6 plus 5/6, but that could take a little while. So it's easier just to multiply 5/6 hours times 5. Okay, and I know 5 times 5 is 25, and then our denominator is the same. Now, where this can start to get a little trickier, we all have experience turning fractions that are, that are greater than 1 into mixed numbers. That can still be hard for some of us. So if I don't immediately know that 6 goes into 25 up to 4 times, I can, count by 6s. So 6/6 I know is 1. So to get 2, I know 6 plus 6, so I know that's 12/6. Then I'm going to keep going. 18/6, that's 3. 24/6 is 4. And I know that, if I go more than 6 over 24, that's going to be more than 25. So I reach my limit. 6 goes into 25 4 times. So I'm going to break this apart into 24/6. And then I know that 24 plus 1 equals 25. So I'm left with 1/6. Okay, we've determined that 24/6 is equal to 4, so my mixed number is going to be 4 and 1/6. And I know Rhonda exercised 4 1/6 hours total over those 5 days. All right, let's go ahead and let's try one of the problems that's from the green book in on your homework page. All right, so if you turn to the lesson 36 of your in the homework section, please go to number 5. It reads, Colton is playing with interlocking blocks that are each 3/4 inches tall. He makes a tower 17 blocks tall. How tall is his tower in inches? All right, so we have 17 blocks. We know that each block, every one of these 17 blocks, is 3/4 inches tall. So we gotta find our question. How tall is this tower in inches? It's got 17 of these blocks. They're each 3/4 inches tall. So we know one block is 3/4 inches tall, but when you put 17 of them on top of each other, how tall is that going to be? Okay, please hit pause. Try to figure this out on your own. Awesome. Welcome back. Let's see how we did. So we know one block is 3/4 inches tall, and we got 17 of them. Rather than write out 17 different blocks that are 3/4 inches tall, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use what we've learned with multiplying fractions. So 17 times 3/4 inches is going to be, well, let's see. So off the top of my head, I may not know what 17 times 3 is, and that's okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and solve that over here. I know that 3 times 7 is 21, so I'm gonna put the 1 down, I'm gonna carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3, and then I'm gonna add 2 to that, which 3 plus 2 is 5. So I know that 17 times 3 is 51, so we are left with 51/4. Now, of course, I know that 51/4 is greater than 1, which is 4/4. So therefore, I can go ahead and turn this into a mixed number, though it won't be easy. All right, because this is larger, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna give us a hint. We should know that 4 times 12 is 48, right? 4 times 12 is 48. So therefore, if we have 48/4, that is the same as 12, okay? 48 plus 4 is 52, so 52/4, that is the same as 13. 52/4 is greater than 51/4, so I would be going too far if I tried to split it, into 13/4. So I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to break apart 51/4 with my number bond, and 12 is the closest whole number, and again that is 48/4. And 51/4 minus 48/4, I got 48, so I go 49, 50, 51, so that's 3 more fourths. Okay, so that equals, I know that 48/4 is equal to 12, and I have another 3/4. So Colton's tower is 12 3/4 inches tall. All right, I hope that this helps, and I encourage you to continue to try other problems. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Burlig or myself, email us, ask your parents to dojo us. Take care, everyone.